You hit publish. Most creators walk away, but that's the mistake. The next 2 to 3 hours are some of the most valuable hours your video will ever have, and here's a workflow to maximize them. 1. Seed it and pin it. Before you do anything else, watch your own video on purpose from the right accounts. First, your publishing business account, which signals what kind of channel you are. Then your personal account if it watches relevant content. Again, this signals the kind of viewer you're after. The accounts you choose matter. Don't watch from your kids' account where they're watching Minecraft all day long. Use accounts that actually watch the kind of content that you make. If you have YouTube friends who'd genuinely watch this anyway, ask them. But if they wouldn't normally watch it, don't bother. Let the algorithm do its job. Young channels especially need to understand no seed data means no distribution push. At the very minimum, watch it yourself. And while you're watching, pin your own comment to prompt engagement. Ask a question, give them a reason to respond. Do it before anyone else shows up. But watching and pinning is just step 1. The real decisions start about 2 hours later. 2. The 2 to 3 hour check. Let it breathe, then look at the numbers. There's 3 outcomes here: above average, on par, below average. If the video is performing above average, leave it alone. If it's below average, go to Ask Studio, and we'll get to this in a minute. If it's on par, it's a judgment call. If you're a new channel trying to grow, my inclination is to take the swing and try to level up that packaging every chance you get. But let's say your video is off to a slow start. Go into Ask Studio, or Sparky as we like to call him, and ask for a performance assessment on your latest video, including CTR or click-through rate, early retention signals, and impression volume. Use this data to diagnose the situation. Too few impressions means you have an idea problem. People don't care about the topic from a channel like yours. If you have good impressions but low CTR, you have a packaging problem. Your title or your thumbnail isn't creating enough curiosity to win the click, given everything else out there they could be watching. If you're getting clicks but retention's plunging in those first 30 seconds, you have a hook problem. These 3 things are a 3-legged stool where if one goes down, the whole thing breaks and the video crashes. Then ask Sparky directly. Is it worth changing the thumbnail? It'll analyze your data, weigh the pros and cons, and make a recommendation. So let's talk about the change first framework. Slightly underperforming, less confident about the title, change the title first. Faster, lower risk. If it's seriously underperforming, maybe go right to the thumbnail. If both are bad and you have a strong backup idea, change both. Generally though, it's better to change only one variable at a time if you can. Change the title or the thumbnail, not both simultaneously, unless it's really, really bad. Otherwise, you won't know what moves the needle. You should also know about the 1K impression guideline. If you're getting under 1,000 impressions per video, be cautious about reading too much into the data. The sample is thin. Ask Studio will often tell you to A/B test anyway, and that's not wrong. Exactly, but in practice, thin data produces unreliable signals. So factor that in before you start swapping things out. But before you make any changes, there's something Ask Studio can't see that you need to factor in. 3, your context trumps AI. So Ask Studio gives you data, but you bring the context that it can't see. So here are 2 examples from this channel. Ask Studio recommended that I keep testing the AI-generated thumbnails that I'd been doing, and technically it's a reasonable suggestion. But I'd already done it for 5 videos and the results had been okay, yet my channel was starting to look like an AI slop fest visually. So I decided that consistent, professional, minimal branding mattered more to the audience that I'm looking to attract than continuing to run these AI thumb experiments. Sparky didn't know that. Ask Studio will also tell you to test title and thumbnail changes, even if you're getting under 1,000 impressions. And my experience with the 300 plus creators I've coached says wait. Not because the AI is wrong, but because I've seen thin data send us chasing ghosts before. This post-production workflow is a tool. You're still the one making the call. You also want to ask Studio how long you should wait before the next check-in. It will usually say 24 to 48 hours, sometimes 72, depending on your audience behavior. Take that as a starting point, not a directive. What's the hardest post-publish decision you've had to make? Change it or leave it? Let me know below. I'm pulling patterns for a future video. And if you want a second set of human eyes on your channel's packaging specifically, I'll be doing live stream channel audits. You can apply in the description below. Okay, so you've made your changes. Now what? This last step is where most creators either recover or give up too soon. 4. The day after check plus ongoing review. All right, so you come back in 24 hours to the same 3 outcome framework. If it's seriously declining, you change something. If it's flat or average, it's your call. If it's growing, leave it alone. So let's look at my last video, the production Ask Studio workflow, to see what actually happened after I published. I went into Ask Studio and just typed in very simply, newest video's off to a slow start. What's your assessment? Notably, my retention for the video was 50%, which is very, very good. All right, but then we get to what needs improvement, and this one really stung. My CTR was 2.4%, which is really, really bad, from a very low number of impressions, 83. But this is typical for when channels are starting out. However, confirms my earlier hunch about the package not maybe stopping the scroll for a broader audience. It noted that with under 100 impressions so far, the browse features hadn't yet kicked in, which is apparently normal for channels that are dealing with a technical or workflow heavy title that appeals to a very specific niche versus a broad audience. So every once in a while, Ask Studio will throw in some nugget about what the algorithm looks for and how it works, which is pure gold. So its recommendation was to execute the backup plan, and it also suggested going with a more human title. So I let it run. The next day, I was A/B testing both titles. It had recommended that I do that. Again, low views, low CTR, exactly at my typical benchmark, which as a new channel starting off, your numbers are going to be low. That's just the reality of it. Still bites, but that it is what it is. Yeah, it said performance is stable, needs more time. If you stop now, you're essentially flipping a coin. So it gave me some reasons to stay the course. And, staying the course for a creator is hard when you see things not happening fast enough. Then it gave me some interesting information here about how the algorithm works. So the first few hours typically go to the core subscribers and audience first. The next 12 to 18 hours are when YouTube begins pushing the video to a wider browse audience. This outer audience is where the two concepts will perform the most differently. It was suggesting that concept 2 would appeal to people who already know me, and concept 1 would be better for new viewers who maybe don't know me yet. High retention is my safety net, it noted. So because my average view duration was sitting at this healthy 50%, YouTube will keep testing thumbnails so long as people who do click are staying to watch. So I have this buffer of this retention to be able to test. It said to only intervene if one is clearly tanking. Anyway, so I ended up doing what Ask Studio said, and I should add that 1 week later, this video is doing pretty well for my channel, given how young this channel is. The click-through rate has definitely improved. The test is still running. It's got some really good engagement going on. There's a mid-video stall, so definitely things to learn from for the next video. So this is how you keep tabs on your whole channel without wasting time when you're looking to build momentum. But if you don't understand why Ask Studio is worth using in the first place, because there are some things it does that no other tool can do for free that you really don't want to miss out on. And I break it all down in this video here.